Today, I'm playing Madden until I turn the worst team in the NFL, the New York Jets, into Super Bowl champions. Like literally, I'm not allowing myself to leave this room until I get it done. This is gonna be a mistake, because not only are they the only winless team in the league, being a diehard fan of this cursed team is like being in the most toxic, unhealthy relationship. Like I swear they invent stats just to say how bad the Jets suck. So attempting the impossible and trying to save them in Madden is basically gonna be like therapy. We're gonna start this out in week 7 against the Panthers. Earlier in the year, I would have said this would be a free game for the Jets to win, but I don't think they could beat anyone. Now, this is the only game that we're gonna play in this season because I know this team well enough to know the moves I wanna make before the trade deadline to set us up for the offseason since there's no chance we're making the playoffs. But I do genuinely hope that we don't win another game all year, because one thing that I absolutely know for sure is that Justin Fields is not the guy here. And while I'm not gonna make this like ultra realistic, oh my God, he threw a pick. I thought I really had Mason Taylor there. Yep, I mean, that sums up this team. Maybe they can win this game without me. Nope, the losing streak is gonna continue. And now before we can sim to the playoffs, we do have a few roster moves to take care of. Oh. Hello. So sorry about that. My girlfriend just called to remind me to take out the trash, which is kind of funny because I thought we would have done it by now, but then I looked and it was just sitting there doing nothing. Anyway, we got a lot of players who want new contracts, but there's only a few of them I actually want to re-sign. Now, I think Elijah Vera Tucker is one of the best guards in the league when he's healthy. The problem is he's never healthy in real life, but I'm not worried about that here. So let's try 5 years for $9 million annual, and he's gonna re-sign, which is great. Quincy Williams is a tough one because he wants a decent amount of money and has no interest to be here. Plus the Jets already paid Sherwood last offseason. So that's a lot to pay 2 linebackers. So you know what? Let's see what we can get in a trade. Ooh, I like this from the Seahawks. Quincy Williams, Andre Cisco, and Josh Reynolds to the Seahawks for Tariq Woolen and a 5th. I didn't want Cisco or Reynolds, so this is perfect. Especially because Woolen's already under contract for 4 years. So we'll have him and Sauce paired up for a while. But now what do we do with Breece Hall? In real life, I think there's a pretty decent chance he's gonna get traded. So let's see what we can get. Oh my God, DJ Moore, a 4th and a 7th. That is a tempting offer. Other than that, I mean, I'm not super interested, but Tonio is good. George Pickens is an even better option. Pickens only has 1 year under contract left, so we're gonna have to pay him. Ooh, the Cowboys do have 2 first-round picks this year. So let's try Breece, a 2 and a 3 next year for George Pickens and their late first-round pick. Ooh, it actually went through. It really pains me to trade Breece Hall because I love him on the team in real life, but I never really see him sim that well in Madden, so I think this is a good trade. So now we gotta handle Pickens' contract. You know, let's try giving him 6 years. And he does re-sign. I do think in the end that was worth it. And I don't think we actually need to re-sign anyone else. So we got better at some spots like wide receiver 2, definitely worse at linebacker, but a big upgrade at cornerback too, that's for sure. So now let's sim to the end of the season. Actually, you know what? Let me see something real quick. It would be better for us to lose. So can we trade Fields? He does get some offers. I just don't know who I'd want to take. Chris Olave is tempting, but I think we would have to pay him. Yeah, we do. Let's add John Simpson to this since we're not going to re-sign him anyway. All right, Justin Fields, John Simpson, and 2 5th-round picks to the Browns for a 2nd-round pick. Ooh, and it does actually go through. Not that they won a game with Fields, but we're definitely in tank mode now. And thankfully, we did not screw it up because we went 0-17. I was fully expecting us to go full Adam Gase mode and somehow find a way to win a meaningless game at the end of the year that ends up costing us the #1 pick in the draft.
The Jets are even losers at losing, and they're the best at losing.
I need therapy, and I use this as therapy.
But just how bad were we? We actually had the 24th ranked offense and 17th ranked defense, but we're at the bottom of the league for points scored and allowed. But we already know we need a quarterback for the future because we definitely don't have one on this team. God, Khalil Herbert did nothing after we traded Breece. But Garrett Wilson did get a breakout challenge in week 9. So if he was able to put up 12 touchdowns, he would get a dev trade upgrade. And thankfully for our future, he got it done because he finished the year with 1,300 yards and 13 touchdowns. So that means he's up to superstar X Factor now. George Pickens had a great year after we traded for him with 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns. And I decided to make our rookie receiver, Arian Smith, our starting slot receiver. Even though he's a low overall, he does have star dev, so I wanted to try to get him the ball. And he was actually able to finish the year with just under 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. And our rookie tight end, Mason Taylor, finished the year with 680 and 3. I honestly think we have a really good receiving room going forward because they're all young and under contract for a while, which is great. Defensively, Quinnen Williams led the team with 15.5 sacks. Then we got Jermaine Johnson and Will McDonald Donald right behind him with 11, and Sauce Gardner led the team with 4 interceptions. Our Super Bowl champs for this season was Baker Mayfield and the Bucks, and surprisingly, Bo Nix won MVP this year. I don't think I've ever even seen his name in the top 10 before. But now moving to the offseason, we're gonna start out by picking up Will McDonald's 5th-year option. Then I brought in Brian Callahan to be our new OC. But God, the available options for free agency this year is not good at all. Like, I don't know if I want to sign anyone here. Let's take a look at what we actually really need. Obviously, we're gonna handle quarterback in the draft, and I think we could definitely bring in another running back. And I think our O-line looks pretty good besides the left guard spot, and I like our cornerback room and D-line, but we can probably try to upgrade at safety, and I think definitely try to bring in a linebacker. But Jamie Sherwood got a breakout challenge in week 8, and he did complete it to bump him up to star dev. And in free agency, our big signings were Patrick Ricard, a punter and a kicker, and reuniting Alex Anzalone with Aaron Glenn. Unfortunately, free agency was pretty mid this year, so I'm not going to overpay for bad talent. So we can go right into the NFL draft, and there's really no other position we're taking with the first pick besides quarterback, and Fernando Mendoza from Indiana looks like the best one from this draft class. He's also the guy being mocked to the Jets in real life, so Fernando Mendoza, welcome to the Big Apple. You surely can't be worse than some of the options before you. But now we also have the 21st pick and 2 second-round picks, and supposedly Caleb Downs is supposed to be the best player in this draft class, but we also do need a running back, so maybe we target Jeremiah Love, because we shouldn't have to move up too much for a running back. So let's see what happens. The Giants are going to draft another quarterback, taking Dante Moore from Oregon. Cowboys get Reuben Bain Jr. The Dolphins are actually going to get Caleb Downs at 4. So you know what? Let's jump ahead to our pick and hope we get lucky. And it looks like our guy is still here. So I think this one's pretty much a no-brainer. We're going to take Jeremiah Love with the 21st pick. And wow, he was actually the 2nd ranked player in this draft. So next up, we got the 1st pick in the 2nd round. We're going to pick safety Jalen Kilgore out of South Carolina. He's ranked number 23 in this class, and we got him at 33. And we have the 6th pick in this round as well. And we're going to use that to pick up Suntarine Perkins. Definitely butchered the pronunciation of that name, but he's a will linebacker out of Ole Miss who's ranked number 24, and we snagged him at 38. And we got 3 4th-round picks, so I'm going to flip 2 of those to the Browns for a 3rd. And we'll use that pick to draft Parker Brailsford, a center out of Alabama. Another decent pick, like he's ranked 39th, and we got him at 70. With our 4th-round pick, we're going to pick Oscar Delp, a tight end out of Georgia, to be our backup. With our 5th-round pick, we're going to grab will linebacker Raylan Wilson out of Georgia. And now for our last pick in this draft, we're going to take Cade Klubnik out of Clemson to be our backup quarterback. Overall, I think we had a pretty good draft. Like, I think we filled a lot of holes that we had on this team. Fernando Mendoza is going to start at a 74 overall with hidden dev, but Jeremiah Love was actually the best pick of this draft class, as he starts out at an 81 overall with hidden dev. He actually had the 2nd highest overall in this entire class. A safety that we picked in the 2nd round, Jalen Kilgore, is a 76 with hidden dev. A linebacker Perkins is a 76 with normal dev. The lineman Parker Brailsford is 74 with hidden dev. Wow, the backup tight end we drafted is a 70 overall, and he has hidden dev too. And I took Cade Klubnik with our last pick, and he's not great at a 63 overall, but once again, he also has hidden dev. To be clear, I didn't make this draft class, so I don't know if we just got lucky getting a lot of hidden devs, but if you want to use this draft class in your franchise, this is how you find it. But overall, I think we're actually looking a lot better going into year 2, but let's see what this team looks like in game. Pretty unlucky that Mendoza's first start in the NFL is in the pouring rain. I really want to see what Jeremiah Love can do, because he was our best draft pick. In real life, I do see the Jets taking a very similar path to this as well. Delp drops the ball, because you either have a franchise quarterback or you don't, and right now in real life, the Jets don't. That's a good pass from Mendoza and a great juke by Mason Taylor. Oh my God. That got us all the way up to the 13, so let's see if we can punch it in on his first drive. Really hard to evaluate this running back because he feels so slow in the rain, but George Pickens is wide open for the touchdown. The first of Mendoza's career. You know what? Let's jump ahead to the 4th. And okay, they actually have a 3-point lead late in this game. And we have the ball, and the Patriots have no timeouts, so I think this is over. Kind of hard to say how well they actually played, since the rain definitely is going to play a factor, but I do want to get some garbage time stats. If we could somehow get Mendoza Rookie of the Year, I think that'd be great to try to get him a dev trade upgrade. Come on, Taylor. I mean, we're at the 1 with 9 seconds. We can surely punch it in from here. Love's gonna slip and slide right into the end zone. So we're gonna win this game 17-7, which means we already have more wins than all of last year. Now I'm gonna sim this season week by week just to see if we get any breakout challenges to upgrade players' dev traits and to also upgrade their overalls as they get skill points. And we're gonna switch over to Cincinnati's playbook playbook because it's the best to get high quarterback stats. All right, it's week 18 and we got a major situation here because before we play the final game, we're 8-8. But the problem is, so is our entire division. Now we beat the Patriots week 1 and lost to them in week 3. We unfortunately lost both games we played against the Bills, and we beat the Dolphins in week 13. So if we want any chance to make the playoffs, we have to win this game. I'll show you the season stats after the game, but Mendoza ended up having star dev, and Jeremiah Love ended up having superstar and is currently a 90 overall. But now in the fourth quarter, we're tied at 6, and the Dolphins got the ball at their own 39. It's 3rd and 1, and Sherwood makes the stop. So now Mendoza and the Jets have the ball at their own 22 with a minute 40. That's getting close to a first. 3rd and 1 now as we go under 90 seconds. Mendoza steps up. He's going to run and pick up the first himself. Not using timeouts there. I thought they were going to spike it there. He's going to throw across the middle. He's got Pickens close to a first. Up to the 47 as we're about to go under a minute. That's another first down. They're saving those last 2 timeouts. They're at the 47 now. 50 seconds, he throws to the outside and it's caught. Mason Taylor picked up 5 and got out of bounds. He's gonna get sacked on this play. They used the timeout, but it's 3rd and 11. Can they convert this? He's gonna throw, and it's caught to Garrett. That was a huge first down, and he got out of bounds to stop the clock. He checks down. That's gonna be another first down to Love, which definitely puts them in field goal range. So now can Carlson hit it to possibly send them to the playoffs? And he nails it, so the Jets win this game. But did we make the playoffs? No, we didn't make it. We all finished 9-8, but we were left sitting on the outside, which means the playoff drought is now 16 years. But Fernando Mendoza had an insane rookie year, throwing for 4,500 yards and 45 touchdowns. The Cincinnati Bengals playbook, man. It is basically a cheat code in the game. Our rookie running back, Jeremiah Love, finished with 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns. Garrett Wilson led the team in receiving with nearly 1,700 yards and 21 touchdowns. Arian Smith was second with 917 and 6. George Pickens not far behind with 846 and 8. And then Mason Taylor had 600 yards and 5 touchdowns. Defensively, Jermaine Johnson led the team with 13 sacks. Quinton Williams was second with 9.5. Then Will McDonald and Harrison Phillips had 8.5. And once again, Sauce Gardner led the team with 4 picks. Joe Burrow had the most passing yards in the league with over 5K, but Mendoza was not far behind, and he led the league in touchdowns. Crazy to see Jackson Dart throwing for 4,500 yards. Wait, didn't the Giants draft Dante Moore second overall? They did. They just literally didn't play him. Is there any chance we won MVP? Nope, it was still friggin' Joe Burrow. It is always Joe Burrow. But Mendoza did finish second, and he did also win Offensive Rookie of the Year, which is really great because that's going to give him a dev trade upgrade. All right, so I think the team is actually in a pretty good spot. So here's what we're going to do. We're picking up the 5th-year option on Olu Fashanu. We're going to re-sign Joe Tippmann, Harrison Phillips, and Jermaine Johnson. Oh my God, Aiden Hutchinson's in free agency, and he's a 99 overall. We're going to have literally no cap space left if we get him, but screw it, it's worth it. Oh God, we're not even close to the top. This is probably a mistake, but let's up the offer. No, we didn't get him. That's just disappointing. Tariq Woolen is unfortunately starting to regress, and he's down to star dev. Is there someone better I can potentially trade him for? Hold up, Travis Hunter? He's a 91 overall with superstar dev. Done deal, not even a question. Welcome to the team, Travis. He's actually only an 85 when we set him to corner, but I think he'll be just fine. So now jumping into the draft, we got the 15th overall pick, and we're gonna take linebacker Sammy Brown out of Clemson. Okay, not bad. He was ranked number 9, and we got him at 15. And we only had 4 total picks in this draft, but Sammy Brown ended up being an 80 overall with hidden dev. So I'm actually feeling pretty confident going into year 3, but I do want to take a look at this team on the field just to see if I want to make any last tweaks, because this needs to be the year we make the playoffs. At this point, I feel like I've set the team up for success, so I don't really know what else I gotta do. That was an insane grab by Garrett Wilson. Like, it seems like we got the quarterback, we got receivers that are playmakers, plus we also got Travis Hunter on this team, who's actually in on this route and makes the grab. Can I make a guy miss? I cannot. I'm not positive our defense is good enough to make us a legitimate Super Bowl contender, but honestly, if we can just make the playoffs, I like our chances to go on a run. Like, we got a lot of talent on this team, so let's sim all the way to the playoffs. Thank God they actually made it in. Crazy that they went 12-5 and still didn't win the division, but they made the playoffs, so that's all that matters. They are no longer the same old Jets. What did probably help is that Fernando Mendoza got a breakout challenge to get a dev trade upgrade, and thankfully for us, he was able to complete it, which means he's all the way up to Superstar X Factor now, and he had an insane year, throwing for 5,600 yards and 53 touchdowns. On the ground, Jeremiah Love went over 1,000 and had 16 touchdowns. No surprise, Garrett Wilson was our leading receiver, picking up 1,600 yards and scoring 14 touchdowns. But this season, I decided to make Travis Hunter Hunter, our slot receiver, and he picked up 1,400 yards and an absolutely insane 21 touchdowns. He was clearly the missing piece this offense needed. I think this was George Pickens' best year with us, picking up 1,300 yards and 9. Then we got Mason Taylor with 656 and 3. And Jeremiah Love even picked up 350 receiving and 5 touchdowns. Defensively, Jermaine Johnson once again led in sacks with 11.5. Then Quinnen Williams and Will McDonald both had 11. And AZ Thomas and Sauce Gardner both grabbed 4 picks. And Fernando Mendoza wins his first MVP. But now, in the wild card, we're going to be going up against the Broncos. This is the first playoff game that they're playing in since 2011. I just really hope that we don't get bounced in the first round. And thankfully they don't, winning this game 21-9. So they move on to the divisional to take on the 11-6 Jaguars. And in the fourth quarter, we're tied at 14. And the Jets have the ball at the 33 with about 90 seconds left in this game. They're obviously in field goal range, but a first down would help them burn Jaguars timeouts. That's in bounds. So now it's 3rd and 2 from the 24 and he runs into a wall. They're gonna have to settle for the field goal to take the late lead. But now the Jaguars have a minute left and no timeouts to get this into field goal range. Can the Jets D get it done? It does make me a little nervous that the Jags have this much time because I feel like they're gonna get a touchdown. Lawrence has so much space to run. Where's the defense? He got all the way to the 42 and he spiked it down, so it's 2nd. Thought he was gonna get sacked and he's got a man wide open for a first. I got all the way to the 27 and spiked it on first and he gets sacked by 2 guys. So now they gotta rush to the line that nearly pushed them out of field goal range. And that actually made it 4th down. This is a long attempt. I feel like there's probably no way he doesn't hit this. Did he miss? Oh my God, he shanked it wide right. Cam Little choked the game. So the Jets somehow hold on to win. I cannot believe he missed that kick. So they move on to the AFC Championship to take on the 14-3 Ravens. We've got so far and tried so hard, but in the end, it will not matter if we lose this game. But in the fourth quarter, we have a 4-point lead, but we have the ball at the 32. It's 3rd and 4. The Ravens got 1 timeout, so a first down wins this game, and a Mason Taylor touchdown definitely seals it. I mean, I guess it's not technically over, so I'll just jump play by play. And the Ravens do actually get a touchdown, so they're only trailing by 5. Now they need this onside kick or it's over, but George Pickens is right there to recover the ball. So the Jets hold on to win this game, and they'll take on the Giants in the Super Bowl. So weird. Last year, Jackson Dart had an insane year for them, and this year they benched him for Dante Moore, who had 4,400 yards and 46 touchdowns. Only a few years ago, he was drafted 1 pick behind Mendoza. 2 years ago, this team was winless, and now they have a chance to win it all. Can we accomplish the impossible? But in the fourth quarter, they have a 3-point lead, and they got the ball at the Giants 34 with a chance to extend. Mendoza's gonna throw and it's caught. Up to the 29, so it's 2nd and 5. It's a handoff to Love, who gains 2. Now it's 3rd down. We're just over 2.5 minutes to go. He hits Garrett, but it was barely short, so it's 4th and inches, and they're going for it and picking up the first down with Love. That was a super risky play call when they could have just kicked the field goal to extend the lead. That was a dirty move to extend the Jets' lead to 10. But now what can Dante Moore do? I honestly did briefly consider drafting Dante Moore over Fernando Mendoza when we made that pick. But right now, as I'm recording this, Mendoza is said to be the #1 pick in the draft, and more likely than not, the Jets are gonna have that pick. So I figured it kind of just made more sense to do the thing that might happen in real life. It got him to the 18, but it's 3rd and 3 with 30 seconds. Moore's gonna run, and he does actually find space to get inside the 5. Now they're at the 4 with 30 seconds as the handoff to Scattaboo gets stuffed. They're at the 1 with 20 seconds. They need to score right now. Thankfully for them, Neighbors grabs the touchdown. But to have any chance, they need the onside kick, and it's gonna be recovered by the Jets. So for the first time since 1969, the New York Jets are Super Bowl champions. I'm honestly shocked it only took me 3 years. But if you want to watch more, I got a few videos floating on screen right now. I'll see you guys soon. Be good people.